Hey! Move it!
Jeez.
Get your ass!
Using a soul.
Stop calling me that.
Asshole.
That's not my name.
Asshole.
We hurt their feelings.
You behave like an asshole.
Back again on channel Story Friends. This time we will tell you about a film in the superhero genre, entitled Hancock, which was released in 2008, tells the story of an overpowered superhero, who is hated by society, because every action he takes causes damage and loss, until he finally meets with a man, who will help him to repair his good name. And don't forget to watch it until it's finished, because this story has a plot twist in it. As usual, prepare snacks, and sit in the most comfortable place. Enjoy watching. The film starts with a group of criminals, who try to escape from the police chase in Los Angeles. They use a white SUV, and continuously shoot at the pursuing police. On the other hand, a man named Hancock, who has no zest for life, is drunk, heavy, woken up by a small child, so that Hancock immediately chased the criminals who were running away. Hancock casually wore sunglasses, took his drink bottle, and suddenly,
What, boy?
Bad guys? Asshole.
it turned out that Hancock had super strength. He could fly, was immune to anything, and had a strong body, but because he was still drunk, Hancock couldn't focus while flying. Birds and planes were hit, and also destroyed a lot of city infrastructure, intending to help the police. But what happened was that Hancock destroyed several police cars because of his actions. When they got to the criminals' car, they were all scared, because they had to face Hancock. At first Hancock asked them to turn themselves in, but because he was shot until his drinking bottle was crushed, Hancock, who was emotional, immediately taught a lesson, by plugging their car into a building.
Hancock is in the car negotiating with the gun.
Even though the three criminals were arrested, because of that incident Hancock caused a loss of up to $9 million, which is what Hancock has done repeatedly, when he caught criminals, and instead of getting credit, all the residents insulted Hancock. Hancock saw the news was in a cafe. He remained relaxed and did not care, until finally a sexy woman came, who really idolized Hancock, and began to seduce him. After that Hancock took him to his residence, which was a trailer parked far from the crowd. This woman then immediately started the game, and Hancock told the woman, so she had to stay alert, because this is what happens when Hancock makes love. It's very dangerous. This woman, who was very horny at first, became very scared, because she didn't expect that Hancock's water shot was as fast as a bullet. At that time, she also gave permission to go to the toilet, but in fact she immediately ran away from the window.
To the bathroom, please.
Yeah. Hey, you.
Elsewhere, a public relations specialist named Ray was doing a heart-shaped presentation in front of his customers, but Ray's idea was rejected, because it was too strange, and not in accordance with the company's wishes. Then when he wanted to go home, Ray was stuck in traffic and his car was right there, on top of the train rails. Suddenly the gate closed, and the train would soon pass. Of course Ray was very panicked, and luckily Hancock came to save her.
Hey! Move it!
Again Hancock's rescue caused a lot of damage. The people around Ray then blamed him, because Ray had saved him then defended Hancock, so that the chaos there could end. Because Ray's car had been destroyed, Hancock took him home by flying, taking his car with him. There Ray then introduced his son Aaron and also his wife Mary. Who knows what happened? Mary looked strange when he met Hancock. As a thank you, Ray invited him to eat together, and Hancock looked shameless, and took food and drinks in glasses without permission, also taught Aaron to fight bullies, quite sadistically, which clearly made Mary emotional to see him. Before Hancock came home, as a humanist specialist who could change people's perspectives, Ray also offered Hancock to improve his name, which had been considered bad, so can be a superhero that is loved and appreciated by society.
Change the way people see products, companies, people, and all this. But I want you to give me one short pitch, okay? Superhero. For your autograph, people should be cheering you on the street. Don't stare, you guys. Not on one of us.
Because all this time living in solitude, after thinking for a long time, Hancock finally wanted to be helped by Ray. The next morning he came back to Ray's house, which was again destroying the road, and saw a small child who often bullied Aaron, named Michelle. He called Hancock as a jerk, because Michael didn't stop calling him a jerk. Hancock immediately gave a lesson, like this.
He's an asshole.
Stop calling me that.
Asshole.
That's not my name.
Asshole.
We hurt their feelings.
You behave like an asshole.
After that, Ray showed videos of Hancock that were scattered, such as when she didn't look good in front of small children, when she finished putting out a fire, or when she saved a whale that actually hit a boat. According to Ray, Hancock's bad attitude was caused by her loneliness, and she had to start able to control his strength. Not long after, the news was broadcast about Hancock's actions which were selfish, detrimental, and never cared about other people. The news anchor was sure that Hancock would definitely be caught in the law, because so far he had never responded to 600 court summons. Saw the news that Ray had an idea, so that Hancock came to court to apologize for his behavior so far, and promised to be a better person. While in prison later, the goal was for the public to miss Hancock's presence. Even though Hancock was in prison, for sure he'll get out quickly, because the police will need his help someday.
I apologize to the people of Los Angeles. You deserve better from me. I can be better. I will be better. Life here can be difficult for me. Alcohol and anger management.
King of my jungle just said that.
One thing that was forgotten by Ray, that in prison many criminals had been caught by Hancock, even though Hancock had already apologized, and not to find trouble with him, but still they still got together, and intended to beat up Hancock. Because of that, Hancock finally entered wrong one criminal chief to another criminal's pants, which of course Ray was quite upset upon hearing the news.
You don't move, your head is going up his ass. Excuse me, please.
Shoot you, asshole. Did you shove a man's head up another man's ass?
Ray then gave information that the court decided to imprison Hancock for 8 years, and could be reduced to 4.5 years, if he was kind and polite, but Ray promised to release him soon, because after all the police definitely needed his help. Hancock, who was emotional, immediately broke down the door, and intended to leave there, but Ray immediately calmed him down, because what a hero needs, is the public's trust, and for a while Hancock had to be patient in prison.
Ennis, what are you doing?
Stop right there.
When they call a hero's what we're gonna do.
Day after day passed by Hancock, and he tried various ways to improve himself, such as joining a sharing group. He was also advised by Ray to land and take action, without breaking anything at all, and always keep his word.
Let's move on.
Mr. Hancock, do you want to share it today?
Ruins the cycle.
Let's watch the crosstalk, okay?
I'm sitting there and I'm staring at myself in the mirror.
Don't come in too hot. Don't land on the $100,000 Mercedes. Let me hear you say it. Let me hear you say, good job. Good job. Good job.
5 days after Hancock was imprisoned, the crime rate increased rapidly by 30%, and the police had difficulty dealing with it. Meanwhile, Mary and Aaron visited Hancock in prison, and Mary also asked Hancock to never disappoint Ray's goodness. A few days later, Ray came to give a superhero costume for Hancock, but Hancock immediately refused, because the design was less scary, until finally one day Hancock was called by the police chief, who asked for his help to catch 4 bank robbers. Hancock immediately shaved his beard, not using razor, but with his nails, and he was forced to wear a super tight costume and fly to the scene. This time Hancock managed to fly without destroying the building, and landed smoothly, not forgetting according to Ray's teachings. He said good work to all the police there, then walked casually towards the bank, and saved the injured policeman, and very quickly 3 robbers were immediately defeated.
Good job. Good job. You said that. I need you to end this.
One robber left carrying a remote bomb, and if the thumb is lifted just a little, then the bombs on the bodies of the people there will explode. He forces Hancock to open a safe containing $30 million, then takes him away safely from there, because he called Hancock with the constant mention of jerk. Of course the Hancock immediately got emotional. He flattened and sharpened the iron of the lampshade, then said as usual, "Call me jerk one more time, or bad luck will befall you." And what happened? Ray's strategy turned out to be successful, thanks to Hancock's stunning rescue action, and without causing damage. All the citizens and the media who saw it then applauded it. To celebrate that success, Ray took him to dinner, and it was seen that many people suddenly idolized Hancock. While eating, Ray also asked Ray how he could meet Mary. Ray also told him that Mary was his second wife, where his first wife died in childbirth, until one day Ray met Mary in a shop, and for some reason he fell in love from the first time she saw her. Then Ray then asked, where did Hancock come from, and why did he have strength? Hancock then replied, if the last time he remembered, was when he woke up at a local hospital in Miami, when his skull was fractured, and the doctor said, if the cause was because Hancock was trying to stop a robbery. Hearing that, Hancock was sure that he used to be an ordinary human, but somehow he suddenly had superpowers, since waking up in the hospital, and the nurse also gave him a title with the name Hancock, because of the needle that will be injected broken, and the crack in his skull suddenly healed in just a short time. And strangely, in Hancock's pocket there are 2 cinema tickets, films from the 1930s, which means Hancock can't age either, and he doesn't know who it was at that time he was invited to watch. The news of Hancock's powers had made a splash in the news 80 years ago, but gradually people started to forget about it, and for some reason Mary, who heard Hancock's story, suddenly had tears in her eyes.
A meteor. Nope, woke up in a hospital, and when I woke up, I was chained. Only thing I had in my pocket was 2 movie tickets. It was probably in the papers 80 years ago.
Hey, Mary. Hi, baby.
Too much wine.
Because Ray was very drunk, Hancock then carried him home. Then when he was going home, Hancock had talked to Mary, who suddenly held Hancock's hand. I don't know what happened. Hancock got closer to Mary, and immediately kissed her, but suddenly.
Yeah, I don't...
If Ray finds out about me, you're dead.
It turned out that Mary had the same power, to the point of destroying the house. The next day Mary apologized to her neighbors for the damage to their car, and also told Ray that last night Hancock sneezed, causing the house to be destroyed. Not long after, Hancock came, and when Ray was after calling, he confirmed whether Mary really had the power, by stabbing him with a fork, and hitting him on the head with a cookie cutter.
Mike, how you doing? Yep.
And that's still in
Hancock also wanted to talk further, and Mary accepted his request to come to Hancock's house this afternoon, with the condition that after that Hancock would leave her family. With a different appearance Mary came to Hancock's place, and Hancock then asked a few things. Mary replied that she was more stronger than Hancock, and people with powers like them are all dead, which now leaves only the 2 of them. Then Hancock asks, what is the real relationship between the 2 of them? Mary replies that they are just family. Of course Hancock doesn't believe it, because of the way Mary kissed him last night more than just a brother. Hancock decided to report it to Ray, about the truth of his wife, which of course Mary immediately attacked Hancock, so that his identity was maintained.
They all died. It's just the two of us.
Brothers don't kiss brothers the way you kissed me last night. All right, all right. Jeez.
Get your ass!
Mary warned Hancock to stay away from his family, because for 3,000 years Mary was fed up with all of Hancock's nonsense. It was clear that Hancock, who had lost his memory, could not remember anything, and accidentally called Mary a mad woman, which made Mary very angry.
You're mad at me, okay?
I don't know what you're talking about!
With your bullshit for the last 3,000 years, and I am done!
Because of the amount of energy they have, the weather changes, a hurricane appears, and lightning strikes, fights reoccur, which destroys the floor of the building where Ray's presentation was held. Hancock tries to calm Mary down, and also apologizes for the mistakes he made before. Although Hancock couldn't remember it, meanwhile Ray, who saw them from above, was very surprised, knowing that his wife also had powers.
The most important thing with all heart is brand recognition. That's
I'm sorry. I don't remember. It's a beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Arriving at home, Ray then asked who Mary really was, and Mary finally told her that she did have power. At this time only Mary and Hancock were still alive, while the other couple had died, which meant that Hancock used to be her husband, but they had separated tens of years ago. But no matter how far apart, Mary and Hancock will definitely be reunited, as if it were a law of nature. Hearing that, Ray could not help but be silent, while Mary finally left there.
He's my husband.
Holy shit.
Me and him, it's just us now. The others paired up and died. Run, he's always there. He finds me. It's physics.
That night Hancock, who was hurt, finally returned to his old habits again, but it turned out that there were robbers hiding there, and Hancock immediately helped the shop owner, until finally, one of the robbers shot Hancock, and without him realizing the shot could hurt him. Elsewhere, how shocked Ray was, seeing the news that Hancock was rushed to the hospital, because of being shot by a robber. Meanwhile, Mary met Hancock and she told a fact, that their strength would disappear, if they were close together. The farther their position, then it would the better, because Hancock or Mary can get their strength back. That's the reason why there are several wounds on Hancock's body, because in ancient times they were together, and Hancock always protected Mary from enemy attacks, as well as when they watched the Frankenstein movie 80 years ago, when some people attacked Hancock, he lost a lot of blood, which made him amnesiac and he didn't recognize Mary at all. Soon a group of criminals came, who managed to escape from prison, immediately shot them. After learning the news of Hancock's weakening, Mary was finally shot. Trying to protect Hancock, Hancock, who was very emotional, attacked all the gang brutally. Then one of the robbers and his leader managed to beat and shoot Hancock many times, which pain was also felt by Mary. Just when Hancock was about to be killed, luckily Ray came, and attacked the raiding boss. Unfortunately they were both dying. Hancock was lying in the hospital, while Mary's heartbeat began to stop, until finally Hancock managed to regain consciousness, and in a seriously injured condition, she forced herself to walk away from Mary's location, even desperate to jump out of the building. Thanks to her struggle, Mary's heartbeat began to appear, which finally made Mary regain consciousness, as well as Hancock's condition, which was getting better, because she was getting away from Mary. Long story short, 1 month later, Ray, Mary and Aaron were on vacation at a carnival. Their family relationship had improved, even Mary was very used to it, to tell various histories that had happened in the world. In another place very far away, Hancock called Ray to ask him to look at the moon. Apparently somehow, Hancock was able to put Ray's logo there, and he was very sure that Ray could change the world. With her creative ideas, Mary just smiled seeing her. She kissed Ray and expressed her pride to the husband. At the end of the film, with a simple superhero costume, the public idol superhero, Hancock, is ready to eradicate crime, and the movie finally ends.
You're gonna change the world.